I mean, this feels radically different than anything I'm picking up off the rack for sure. So this is definitely a mind expander. Kelly Slater, he said, there's these guys down in Oceanside with these short boards that are doing amazing skate style tricks in the waves. And I think once we saw that, we were like, whoa, this is real, like people are paying attention.
This is what I call a Megatron tail.
Oh, brother! I'm actually so excited that we're all three gonna go surf these right now. Surfing in the 2000s was in full bloom, and there was so many different opportunities to be a pro surfer, and there was a lot of different niches within that. The aerial surfing had a complete movement behind it, which really revolutionized a lot of that side of surfing. There was airshow events, there was a lot of video part segments, and Ben Wei was a shaper at the time and surfer, but he shaped boards specifically for aerial surfing with the 50/50 Waveskates. They were based out of Oceanside, California, and he had a couple different guys riding the boards, which later became known as the 50/50 crew. The story of these boards is that they really unlock that specific side of surfing. So when I came across it online, I couldn't wait to check it out. I couldn't wait to open that up and see and try to learn as much as we could, knowing that it was so local for me, that I had just moved down to Oceanside, and seeing that the surf scene was so different down here from where I grew up, I couldn't wait to dive in.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Come on, huh?
Yeah.
Come on. Holy shit. It's a lot of foam on that rail, huh?
It is, yeah.
Wow. So what's the scoop with the board? How'd you come across it? Did you order it straight from Ben?
I was trying to think of it. I ended up grabbing it off of like OfferUp or probably Craigslist at that time.
Sick.
Like, I don't know, probably 15 years ago or something.
Okay.
I've been holding out to it for a bit.
We were watching a bunch of footage of like Ben and all those guys, like, and it literally looks like you could ride it in like an ankle high wave. But like the influence, I think it's really rad that you got this board because they're kind of underground. And like that's why I was like curious.
Yeah, I mean, you probably saw that thing's been sitting on there for a long time. Like the money's somewhat inconsequential. I just want somebody to like
get it
pass it to that would like appreciate what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, thank you so much. This is rad.
This is such a sport.
Is like you would never know how to order this thing for yourself. Like it feels like it'll go. It's definitely got a lot of foam. It probably feels really good and poppy in the small stuff. I mean, but it's really cool because in the photos you're like, oh cool, that looks pseudo normal. But dude, this is really thick. Like, look at this right here. That's what I'm riding on. And look at that. Like, I mean, it's almost, when you really break it down, like, it feels double. Look at on this side. That's actually really cool. Felt like a good connection there. So I'm excited to take this through the paces and give it a good surf. It's funny waxing this board up because it feels almost like I'm waxing a boogie board. Like even just grabbing this back here, it's such sharp rails and it's so small. It'll be fun. It's definitely gonna be unique. I've ridden small boards before, but definitely nothing this unique. It looks like some gurgly, fun little lefts, and could be really fun for the sport because I'm just thinking from a skate mindset, like all of that sort of turbulence will be something I can ollie over, ollie onto. I'm excited to see how it goes. with finders keepers, the very first surf on that new board, to me, is the most exciting. This board had a lot of curiosity to it. I loved some rides, and some rides kind of left me feeling a little amiss. However, knowing that we were so local, I felt like it was a really cool opportunity to get in touch and learn more about the design and let it kind of take us further. So I called up Zach Cordner, who's a photographer, and he's actually the editor of the Oceanside magazine. And he was rolling with these guys when the design was being built and when they were test piloting it back in the day. So I knew he'd have some great stories or insights about that crew. And so we called him up and we stopped on by. In the sense of surf culture and things being mainstream and underground, where do you think the 50-50 design and crew land in the long run?
I think forever they were on the fringe, but I think as the years goes by, people recognize how important those board shapes were. I mean, I remember back in the day in Surfer's Journal, Kelly Slater even mentioned, he loosely mentioned, he said, there's these guys down in Oceanside with these short boards that are doing amazing skate style tricks in the waves. And you know, that was amazing. When we heard that, like, Slater said that, he didn't come out and actually say it was Ben and the boys and all that, but he was acknowledging that. And I think once we saw that, we were like, whoa, this is real. Like, people are paying attention.
So give us a breakdown on Ben Wei. Like, what's he like as a person? What actually led him to like creating these boards that were so unique?
Ben is a very unique human. There's only one Ben Wei. He is just bubbling with personality and just a really outgoing guy. But his personality just, it brings people together, and I think that's what really solidified the 50-50 crew, is like him just bringing all these guys together. But basically, yeah, it was just a tight group of Oceanside guys that were equally amazing skaters and surfers.
Derek.
Yep.
Ben, obviously.
Yep. Jeremy, Somerville, James Lovett,
Yep. Mchenry.
Eric Mchenry, Zach Rhinehart, Gabo, and of course Aaron Schmidt.
Getting to catch up with Zach was exactly what I was looking for. It was all of his photos and his stories of Ben and the crew getting to use the design and surfing together. And I felt like after that chat, the only thing left for us to do was to catch up with Ben Wei himself.
Ben!
Stoked to see you, man.
Dude, back from El Salvador.
Dude, insane. I haven't surfed since then, actually.
So can you just give us the 411 on this board that I got?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Like, get your hands on it.
Yeah, this is classic, dude. This laminate was the 50-50 Zach Rhinehart Big Punt.
Okay.
That's the ZRBP.
Amazing.
And 05. So this would have been an 05 model. What's funny is this outline, I mean, it's pretty like standard groveler outline now, you know, this kind of width of nose, everything was way more pinnered out.
Yeah.
Nothing had hips. The wide points were like way farther back, back in this time at least.
Yep.
And people found, like, for airs and everything else, moving the wide point back, having more hips, let the thing pop more.
That's just more foam under your back foot to have like a crispier kind of like
that. And then for us, like, we were really skate oriented.
Yeah.
And we really wanted like shove-its and rotations.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you have all this width, as soon as you kind of start to scoop it, all of this width releases the center fin.
Got it.
So like with really little effort, you can get the thing to go around and it doesn't half flip.
Yep.
And you never land dark side, so.
Dude, we were laughing because I've wanted to do shove-its so fucking bad for so long, and I can't do them. Like, I cannot get my board around. And so I rode this a couple weeks ago, and all I was trying was shove-its, and it was coming out so easy. But I just didn't know, like, I'm not spatially aware enough to like stuff it, you know, like come over it.
This one's 5'3", and Derek's gonna come with his 5'8". It's exactly this in a 5'8",
Rad.
which is what you would. It would be a tiny bit oversized for you, but this is way undersized for you.
Okay. Yes, Derek.
What's up, Derek?
Morning.
This is Derek Bockelman. Derek is one of the original members of the 50-50 crew and still lives in Oceanside today. He's bringing most of the boards he's acquired from Ben over the years down to the parking lot for us to look at, and then we're gonna go surf together.
Dude, we're getting so deep.
Dude, we're digging into the science.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, here we go. We got some
Quiver
more
time. Can we come on over to your surf shop in the back of your car? How are you?
See you, Smiley.
This is an adult size big putt.
Is this what you're riding?
Yeah, that's Derek's. He's had this for a while.
Were these boards just a good pairing for like your futuristic style, or do you think that they help push and like unlock certain areas of your own surfing?
Yeah, they make you, they let you just kind of like use your whole bag when it's small.
Yeah.
Like when I'm just like chop hopping on my board, on my short board, you can get on that, and now you're doing like full wraps and stuff with like 3-foot faces.
I mean, you're a tall guy.
Yeah, I
dude.
weigh
You're like
220, so
yeah,
that's a big help.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
I really want you to take a test run, maybe on that one, just to see that same model in your actual size, what it would feel like.
Derek, are you gonna be able to surf with us?
Yeah, right now? Yeah.
Because we could take out the 3, and then we could even kind of like
That'd be perfect.
try them around.
Yeah.
We can get wet for a little minute.
Let's do it. It looks fun, huh?
I love it, dude. I'm so pumped. I'm actually so excited that we're all 3 gonna go surf these right now.
Yeah, and the waves look fun.
It's been so fun because like the whole journey has been like discovering like the crew as well. Like not just the board. It was like all of you guys testing it and pushing it. During the filming of this episode, Zach Rhinehart passed away. He had battled for 3 years with cancer until it recently took his life. I remember some of our last chats in the parking lot before he went into the hospital for the final time. We were talking about aerial surfing and where it's at today and where it's gonna go with the new technology of wave pools, and it makes me reflect a little bit that seeing an alley-oop or an air reverse in your local lineup is pretty commonplace nowadays, but it wasn't always like that. It took people like Zach to think a little bit outside of the box and work with other people like Ben and the 50/50 crew to push the level of something to a new place. So I hope you find that this episode is a celebration of that crew and those people individually within that crew who did that. They were pioneers in the water for the rest of us to be able to follow that pathway and push it even further. So thank you, Zach,
Ben, and the entire 50/50 crew for everything you've done for surfing. I hope you guys loved this episode, and we'll see you next time.